want to bring on our political panel now. Mick Mulvaney is a NewsNation political contributor and former chief of staff to Donald Trump. And Chris Cillizza is a journalist and political commentator. Great to have both of you here. Mick, I'll bet you're happy you're not Mike Johnson today. That's like the worst job on earth. He spent the day holed up in his office working on a new deal. Trump is now urging all Republicans and even Democrats to vote for it. The problem is we're already hearing some Republicans come out and say, I'm sorry, debt ceiling raised? No deal. I'm not voting for it.
Yeah, Elizabeth, it's hard to know where to start. A couple different things. Yes, the debt ceiling, at least as recently as 2 days ago, was something Republicans liked because it was leveraged to try to get to reduce spending in Washington, D.C. That's changed 180 degrees in just the last couple of hours. But more interestingly, perhaps from tonight, I'm hearing from some of my friends on the Hill that this will come to the floor under a suspension of the rules, which means it will need 2/3 of the chamber to vote to pass it. So not will they need a couple of Democrats to vote for this, they'll need a lot of Democrats to vote for this. And in talking to my Democrat friends, none of them seem to understand why the Republicans think any Democrats will vote to give Donald Trump exactly what he wants. So it's going to be must-see television starting about 6 o'clock, which is great because we're on the Hill and we get a chance to watch it live.
Hey, no promos right now. We're just doing the news here. Chris, Hakeem Jeffries just called this deal laughable and not serious.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Thank you, Elizabeth. You're exactly right. Like, that doesn't mean no Democrat could vote for it, but man, it certainly doesn't. If Mick is right about the vote on suspension of the rules and a 2/3 majority, that's not going to happen. And I'll note, just in the sort of the perils of being Mike Johnson, let's just say that this vote passes with a bunch of Democratic votes. That's a very short-term win for Mike Johnson. Okay, the government isn't closing anymore, but it's terrible for Mike Johnson long-term because every time, and he's done this several times in his speakership, every time he relies on Democratic votes, to get things he wants done, it further undermines him with the conservative wing of the party. Look, I mean, to me, the best argument of not removing Mike Johnson is no one else could do. I mean, I believe Mick might disagree. I don't know that anyone else could do better with as small a majority as they have, right? Yeah. They're going to have a 2-seat majority. And Mick made the exact right point. Donald Trump is so utterly changeable. The debt ceiling was a thing Republicans loved. And then all of a sudden, well, we got to get rid of it forever. Remember, Donald Trump didn't just say, let's push it for 2 years. He said, we got to get rid of it forever. A position he and Elizabeth Warren agreed on, if you're talking about strange political bedfellows. So I just think it's really hard. It's easy to dunk on Mike Johnson. I don't know that there's any other Republican in that body who could do any better. Yeah,
all right. So listen, this emergency happened after Elon Musk tweeted at 4:15 yesterday morning, that kill this bill. He then proceeded to tweet more than 150 times yesterday, demanding lawmakers kill it, using the platform he bought as a digital bullhorn to basically whip votes on Capitol Hill. He also demanded that lawmakers pass no more bills until January 20th and endorsed a post that said, just shut down the government until January 20th. We'll be fine for 33 days. On the Bulwark, they wrote this. We're seeing in real time what it looks like to turn a democracy over to an oligarch, namely an unstable guy from South Africa who thinks he's going to be emperor of the universe. What's your reaction to that, Mick?
That's absurd. That goes back to the whole Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, which a majority of people in this country just threw out the window. Look, you can have a serious conversation about the CR and about the structure it's going to take and about the debt ceiling, but this whole concept of Elon Musk being the puppet master behind the government is kind of a joke. Look, money talks in politics. It does on both sides of the aisle. One of the reasons Nancy Pelosi was so successful for so long and is still successful to this day, she just beat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Cillizza attempts to become a committee chairman, in large part because of the amount of political money that she controls in this town. So you can take that aside and still have a really good debate about whether or not this is a good package or not. I thought the criticisms of the bill yesterday were fair. It was a Christmas tree bill. It's business as usual in Washington, D.C. Throw a bunch of junk onto a bill as everybody leaves town and hope nobody pays attention.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.